Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Big Screen Show. My name is Victor,
I'm Alex.
and we're back bringing you guys another movie review. This time, I.S.S. stands for International Space Station. We just saw this movie, just got back from the theaters. General thoughts first. I'll go first. I was actually pretty excited, like not like super excited, obviously, but because it's or not obviously, it's just not a huge blockbuster movie or anything. But I was very excited to go see it because I remember I forgot what movie it was that we went to go see, but they played the trailer for it, and that was the first time I had seen the trailer, and the trailer was very it definitely hooked me, and the idea of it all and the concept of it all I thought was very unique and different and intense and close to thriller vibes, which I love a good thriller. So I was definitely very intrigued to go see this movie, and now after seeing it, I think the movie's good. It's solid. I just simply put felt a little empty with the ending, sadly. But literally, other than that, apart from some minor technical things as far as the actual process or I guess plot, the developing of the plot itself is concerned, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was just a very different type of tense situation to be in and to witness, and unique in some ways. And I enjoyed my time. I definitely enjoyed my time watching it for sure. But due to the fact that I was left feeling a little bit empty due to the ending, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 6 out of 10. Just a good one-time watch. I probably wouldn't watch it again unless a friend was like, "Hey, I really want to watch this for some reason." But I probably won't watch it again. I think one time is enough, but that's not a bad thing. I definitely think the movie is something I'd say if you're kind of into things in space and thriller kind of territory. I think it's definitely worth a watch, and I don't think it's like a movie that I would recommend people to stay away from in any capacity. So 6 out of 10 for me. What about you, Alex? What were your thoughts on ISS?
For me, when I actually first saw the trailer, I pretty much had low expectations. Where I thought it was maybe just gonna be like, fine. Because to me, the story seemed like kind of predictable, and in a way, kind of was, but it's not predictable in the way I originally thought it was going to be. So it kept it a little, but still kept it a bit fresh and still. But for overall, it's a pretty good story with some good suspense story. With scientists out in space on the International Space Station. I mean, for when it does scenes when it's like interior or like does things on a camera view in black and white, it's actually done some very good work. Especially like the zero gravity scenes that they do inside. The thing that wasn't very good was when they had to do scenes where it was like simulating like outside in space, and you're like hanging on the side of like International Space Station, like overlooking like space and the planets and everything. That looked like it came like from like a video game, which not really a good comparison you want to do unless you're making like an actual video game like movie or making something that's like like CG animated film or some of that sort.
Right.
But all in all, the story development was pretty simple, but it was very good, and the performances were done pretty well. I don't think there was like any outstanding performances, but they all did a very good job and got the job done. Where nothing really felt like very forced and felt like very natural, with one side being of American and the other being Russian, and they did a very good job. But and I did not have a problem. I didn't have a real problem with the ending like you did, because to me it actually fits for what the story was going for overall in the plot, which we're gonna get to later on for spoilers for future reference. But yeah, I think the ending fit very well, to me and my point. But honestly, it was very enjoyable. It's a good one-time watch, but I probably wouldn't watch it again. It's just a good one-time watch for me.
What's your rating?
Well, my rating for it is a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Okay. Solid. I don't I don't disagree with that rating either. It's just I guess this personal little gripe I have with it. I put it at like a 6.5 range if we did, points and things like that. But let's get into the details, right? Let's get into some spoiler territory. If you haven't seen this movie yet and you don't want it spoiled, this is your spoiler warning. You can click off the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. We try to bring you guys videos at least once a week, so please make sure to please make sure to subscribe. We would really, really appreciate it if you would join us on this journey. And if you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. We would really, really, really appreciate it. Now, moving forward into spoiler territory, the plot, like you said, could have is sure, it's simple, it's fairly predictable, especially if you saw the trailer, right? I mean, it's a regular type of scenario where Russian astronauts are up in the International Space Station doing their research and science and all these types of things, cohabitating in the ISS, and out of nowhere, I guess, for reasons we still currently do not know post watching the movie, a war breaks out down on Earth between America and the Russians. Due to that, their separate prospective countries give orders to the astronauts up in the ISS to basically take over and take hold of the ISS
by any means necessary.
Exactly, by any means necessary. So at that point, that's when the real intensity starts to pick up, obviously, because it's like, we know we got this message, did they get this message, and vice versa. And obviously it leads to, if we got this message, they had to have gotten that message. And it's like, do we say something, do we not say something, what do we do? And that whole bit. So that begins to unravel as it does. So and it's pretty straightforward as far as that is concerned, with the overall arching plot of it all, just as like how I put it. It is fairly simple. Yes, but I think there are some pretty, you could argue, predictable, but they're predictable, but they're not done in the way you actually think they're about to be done.
Exactly.
As far as the plot twists are concerned, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think for that, I think it fits. I think it's good because you can only do so much in this situation. I mean, they're confined to this. They're confined to the ISS, so you are very limited in like all these things you can do. But some things definitely shock you. For example, when I believe his name was Gordon, the character was basically drifted off into space, where it was like the first death per se on the American side, and when the Russians struck first, when he went out there to fix the radio, which ended up being
antenna.
Was it the antenna?
Yeah, it was the antenna.
I thought it was the radio.
No, it was the antenna.
To fix it or whatever, even though it didn't need to be fixed, and they obviously sabotaged that, and now he's like floating off into space, and that was like A, unexpected, B, a crazy thought, kind of very dark. Like, he's just drifting off into space and he's like gonna just die out there. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And then never, at least personally, never did I expect for him to come back.
Yeah, no,
I thought he was gone. For sure. I thought that one was not salvable.
Yeah, because think about it. He's drifting in space alone, where his oxygen could be running out. Where his oxygen is going to run out soon.
Right.
Like, it runs out a couple of hours, but like by then he'd just be like drifted like miles out into space.
Yeah.
That's
worse
than death.
Space. You keep moving.
Empty vacuum.
Exactly. So I thought he was for sure gone, especially with the way they showed him getting hit by the arm and he just keeps on drifting. It's like, oh, well, peace out, dude. Like, for sure, Yeah. So, for example, that one. There's like, when the Russian woman and
Veronica,
the American woman were having this, I guess, alliance formed, I really believed them both. And when we found out she was lied to, or thought she was lied to, I was like, okay, I could kind of see that kind of going that way, because
especially since like one of the Russians literally took out
Gordon. Made the first move.
Yeah, that's actually how I thought it was gonna end, how it was gonna go. Whereas basically it's gonna be like one side versus the other, but it was a little bit more complex. Where literally, the American scientist woman whose name was Kira Foster, and the female astronaut on Russia, which was Veronica, she was actually wanted to not want to be forced to kill each side. They wanted to actually do the smart thing, do the right thing. Work together and cooperate.
I think everybody really was, besides the main bad guy on the Russian side that really made the first move of it all.
Yeah, Nikolai.
Yeah, I think if it wasn't for him, there could have been probably some civilized conversations and gotten to an end point where it's like, no, screw this, and formulate some kind of more, I guess, logical, productive, less death way type of plan, you know, or whatever. But where I was going with the plot twist of it all in their bond is when you find out that she was, I guess, deceived, and then you, near the end, double back and realize, oh wait, she never really did lie to me. That was unexpected for me. I was like, man, we could have avoided another death, you know, that kind of thing. So it's like, I don't know. I think, to put it short, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you could sit there and definitely like, oh, this is going to go this way, this is going to go this way, this is going this way. And it actually might go that way, but not in the way you expect. You know what I mean? And for that, I think it has enough variation in it as far as predictability is concerned, to where I don't think this is just a flat out like call it play by play type movie at all. I don't.
Yeah,
think.
no. What I liked for it that actually gave the movie strength was that it really that most of them were suspicious, but then they also try and get ahead of the other or try to keep their distance. But it's good that some of the other members on the crew in there, both Russia and American, actually were like, you know, hesitant on it and not just trying to outright go by the orders.
They're human.
Exactly.
They're being human. That other guy was just cold, I think. Because if you just got these orders and within an hour you already acted on that, it's like, where's your humanity, bro? Because you can get to the point where your back is against the wall and you have to act on it. I get that. I expect that. However, if you come to that conclusion that soon after receiving this news, that's concerning.
Yeah, for Nikolai, he said he was basically going more on his country's more sense of duty.
No, I get that. But
which I know, but he's taking it way too far. Because even his own team was talking about how, like, this, you should not have done this.
Yeah.
And we didn't think you were capable of this. You're a monster.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, but I did like that, how they really all, even though they were all like in the same country on the same team, they wouldn't have like the same thoughts as he had, which I actually do like, because honestly I was kind of expecting them to just kind of be like, yo, this is our country, we're gonna do as, you know, as they tell us to, and it's just gonna be a whole like U.S. versus American side, but yeah, complex moral confliction and feelings got in the way into it, and like, yeah, I actually did like that. It actually made the movie better.
I agree. Definitely agree, because every person felt a different way about different things. Some people agreed about certain things. Some people didn't agree about other things. And like you said, there's definitely some complexity in it all. And I think it's all simply derived from, I think it's actually very realistic if you think about it, because it's like, as far as if that situation were to actually happen, I would hope at least, right, that it would go something like that, because some people might be radical and like go with like, you know, like Nikolai and just like go right at it like 30 minutes after getting orders. But then others are like, okay, even though I love my country and want to do what I've been told to do and all this, I'm still like, can we collaborate, because this is just, it's so extreme, you know? And like especially, you know, then maybe a day goes by or 2 days goes by and 3 days goes by and things change, but that immediate, you know what I mean? Like, I liked it. I agree. In short, I agree with you. I think the complexity and the humanity of it all, and like you said, morals is a big one. Really plays a part in how things go in this film, for sure. As expected, for me personally, just that morals would be implemented, but I didn't see it going like this, and so I appreciate it that it went the way it did.
Yeah, and plus you want to get to the ending here. The other thing that really surprised me, because I always thought the movie was going to end with like just like the Americans kind of winning, with maybe like one or like two people surviving, but no, one person from each team survived in the end. The Kira, and then Alexei.
Yes, which is good, because in the end, really what happened was the only two that really cared about surviving, no matter what country you're on or not, ended up surviving. Both of them, from the point of the conflict beginning to the ending of the movie were never really on this super allegiance to my country kind of vibe. They were more on like a allegiance to as many people as possible, including myself, surviving as long as possible.
Yeah, the right thing and the common good. Because honestly, because at the beginning of the movie, they were all there at the beginning before shit hit the fan with like America and U.S. nuclear war situation.
Right.
When they were up there, when everyone was still alive, they were all saying like, here on ISS, we're all just one. No politics, no country, jurisdiction, things like that. And that messed up bit, and that kind of got. They answer what happened like within the middle of the movie with them trying to pick their own sides, things like that. Yeah. At the end of it, Alexei, and Kira came together because, like, as it turns out, because even as he found out, Veronica was actually telling the truth about the cure and stuff that they needed for like this whole radioactive cure for what's going on down on Earth. One of the American astronauts, Christian, was literally trying to like abandon ship with the antidote stuff and then just leave Kira and Alexei behind, and he was like tense, man. He was the one who was really on the desert move for survival. It was crazy, but it made sense because this dude was from the very beginning, from the jump, was like, let's keep our distance from the Russian. I'm gonna do everything I can to survive, to see my family, my kids, and everything. But yeah, he literally tried to. But yeah, Christian literally tried to kill them, but in the end, Kira and Alexei worked together to kill him.
Yep.
And
that's right.
And then by the end of it, Alexei and Kira decide to take the cure from themselves and to go down back to Earth to try and find a way to solve the problem, try to save as much people as they can. Yes. Which honestly think the ending was fine because like from beginning to end, we literally had like no clear idea of what happened down on Earth. We don't know what the cause was. We don't even know if there were many people left alive or what countries or states were affected between on Earth. Exactly. So as they went down and Alexei is like, where are we gonna go? And Kira is like, I don't know. And like that's the thing, they're going down into the uncertain because like the whole movie is pretty much it's partly just about like being uncertain and suspicious. And so I think that ending is very fitting because they're going down back to Earth into the unknown.
They do know just as much information as we do about what's going on down there.
Exactly. So really, they're taking the place of like the audience as we are, but we're only going off for their situation that they had on the ISS, but not down on Earth because there was like no other communication except for the orders to take back the ISS. So really, the movie ends all like open ended, and you're not certain how it's going to go, but it's very fitting that way because we don't know anything just as much as they do. I
guess. Okay, now that you put it that way, I guess I do see where you're coming from, and I dislike / feel empty, less empty by the ending, and dislike the ending less. However, I guess what I desired was to find out how the rest of it pans out with them. True. Like when they land, like where did they land? What happened? Because when they got in that, I guess shuttle that sent them back to Earth, you could hear in the comms like, please let us know, like, how can we assist you? We will assist any Americans, meaning the respective countries down there are willing to help the astronauts, however, only the ones from the countries that they're from. And so that whole kind of idea of there's actually in the shuttle, there's one from each country and we're both coming down to Earth and we're both landing together. It's like, what happened then? Like, I don't know. It was like, I guess I just wanted a resolution to that whole idea. However, when you put it the way you put it, that's fine. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, but the ending is kind of bleak, but also kind of hopeful. But it is kind of more bleak when you think about it, because like
it's more bleak than hopeful. But it does have a bit of hope because they're taking the cure with them. So
and at least they're like they're together, which I think is actually pretty common. Which I think is actually pretty good thing to take away because that's actually a good lesson that we could probably learn in today's standard.
Fair, I'll buy that. Yeah, 100%, no doubt. Yeah. Okay, we just workshopped it a little bit there. Emotions on the ending are a little bit more subdued, so okay, fair. But it is what it is. I guess just in that moment, I was so into what was going on that I just and like we've been waiting for this moment. Like we've all known it was gonna get to a point where somebody was going to leave with this cure.
Yeah.
And that was like the ultimate goal for everybody to survive to get to do that basically basically and they did that and it was them two and now I'm just like okay like what's about to happen now and I was like really like borderline edge of my seat waiting for that next thing and then like movie ended and I was like no
Yeah.
you know
Yeah, I understand your reason for that, but for me, I think I got enough, and I felt very satisfied because, like, the movie didn't end the way that I was expecting, which I honestly think is very good. Since, like, like I said from the beginning of the video, I had low expectations,
right
so I actually felt like this is actually a pretty good thing for me at the
okay
end of it.
okay
So I think I got what I needed out of it.
okay well I'm happy for you you know I got what I needed mostly
Right.
out of it 95%. Oh, but we should also just quickly touch on. I have to say, on the technical side of things, as far as actual filmmaking is concerned, I thought, very cheap special effects on the outside of the ISS, planets, space or Earth, space, what have you, etc., being tethered to the side of it, and all that kind of jazz. But again, and you probably would agree with me, I wasn't expecting the creator level things or anything like that
or even Christopher Nolan standards like from Interstellar,
or anything like that. So that was completely fine, I guess. I mean, yes, it's not good, but like I wasn't expecting it to be good, so it really just fit the shoe, if that makes sense. However, on the inside, this zero, I mean, basically everybody's in zero gravity the entire length of the movie, so I thought the way it was done, the way they went about it, the things they did, like I don't know, just everything having to do with the zero gravity and how they moved around the ISS was very, very, very well done. I thought personally, so I just want to give a thumb up to that part of the movie because I thought that was definitely a highlight in some ways. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cause some of my favorite shots that they were showing for when they were in zero gravity was like where it shows like the Christian, the American astronaut, sleeping but in zero gravity, floating around.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, I wish I could be doing that. I'd love to sleep in zero gravity where I'm just floating around like.
Yeah. No, and like like drinking water or vodka or whatever and like these different I don't know it's just cool playing with the gravity and things like that so I thought very well done and was really awesome to see
because they also even had like this shot where they literally had like a chessboard but it was on like the side of the wall
yeah that's right.
And then one of the
he was exercising, one guy was running on a treadmill exercising on the side of
the
wall.
Tethered in zero gravity. He's just running while tethered to it. I thought that was really good because he had like this kind of inverted shot of him but then everybody else was kind of like upright. I actually like that good camera work and how they were doing that.
Yeah, it's funny or not funny. I thought one thing that was really cool, I should say, was in a lot of moments in the movie when the camera was indoors in the actual station, you could almost feel like the camera was also one with that zero gravity idea as well, with how like kind of fluid and I don't even know if fluid's the word, but just floaty, I guess.
Yeah,
the camera
floaty,
work
slow
was
moving. That felt like exactly.
It just felt like it was in that same environment as them.
Yeah.
So I thought, very good on the technical side of things. It definitely has a lot of positives, I think. Anything else on ISS?
No. I only have one thing. I would love to just go to space and just capture that moment in the scene in the movie where they are like everyone was all together before shit hits the fan, and they could just see the Earth and just think like, what a beautiful sight.
Man, who are you telling? There's a lot of risks, but I'd go through all of them to have a moment like that and just look at our entire species from above, where all the irrelevant, small, human level bullshit is irrelevant, and you truly make that realization because you're like, look at this thing, like, I would love to have that moment. I agree with you. Facts.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna do it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. I.S.S is out now in theaters. We recommend. We recommend.
Absolutely.
I definitely recommend.
Yeah, for sure.
So, thumbs up from us. Definitely go watch this movie if you haven't. If you have some time, check it out. We think it's definitely worth the watch. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure to do that. We would really, really appreciate it. We try to bring you guys videos at least once a week, sometimes more. And if you like this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button down there because, again, it really does help us out. But with that being said, this is the Big Screen Show, and we'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.